I said I wouldn't do it. I said it was too expensive. It makes absolutely no sense, but I ended up getting the Magickeyboard. Let me tell you why. And let me tell you why I'm returning it. I'll tell you why I love it, and then I'll tell you why I'm returning it. It might not be what you think. So if you want to find out more about that, stick around. And this is Ben Talks. First and foremost is the seamless integration. It's got a smart connector, so all you do is you put your iPad in these powerful magnets, and they are powerful. This iPad is not coming off. You connect it, and seamlessly the keyboard, the trackpad, everything works instantly. It's not a Bluetooth, it's literally through those smart connectors, and it actually charges. It uses the charging through your iPad, so you'll never have to actually charge the keyboard. It's always ready to go. You got the seamless integration that just works, and you got that Apple ecosystem, right? It goes into this Apple design aesthetic. It just fits. You have this floating design that is beautiful. Your iPad is almost like standing there on this pedestal. And I know some people are going to complain about, they wanted a little bit more of a degree of motion in terms of like the tilting, right? But what I've found is, first and foremost, you can get as flat as you really want it, but you're talking about the tilt back, and anything for me tilted farther back than what it does go is not very useful. Now, could it be for you? Absolutely. But to me, this was a non-issue. And you had this beautiful floating hinge design that's just so well built. It's an Apple product. Even I don't know what kind of leather it is on the outside, if it's, a vegan leather, or it's the same material they use on their folio cases. Like, it's just that premium Apple build quality you're getting, that seamless integration you're getting with Apple products. And I just love that. Just put your iPad on it and go and use it. The second thing I really like about that is, with the smart connectors, now you have pass-through power. So you can actually, with your USB-C cord, plug it into the hinge of the Magickeyboard and charge your iPad at the same time. So I think it's 15 watts of charging, so it's a little bit slower, but now you have more of a laptop design where it's not plugged into your actual port through your iPad, but plugged into the keyboard, which is really, really useful, because now you also get that port back on your device. So you can use that Thunderbolt port that you have on your iPad Pros, if you have the Pros. You can get this keyboard for the iPad Air and the Pros. That USB-C port that's available on anything that can support a Magickeyboard, right, is now open to you to use. So you have that main benefit of gaining back an extra port, which is amazing. Sticking with that Apple quality, the keyboard and trackpad is second to none. You're getting the scissor switches that you get on a MacBook. You're getting the same keys that look beautiful, comfortable. If you've typed on a MacBook, you love that experience, you're gonna love this. You don't have to doubt if you're gonna enjoy the typing experience. You'll pick it up, you'll go, and you'll enjoy it. It's one of the best typing experiences you can get on any device. Same with the trackpad. Mind you, it is small, but I didn't find myself yearning for more on an iPad. The trackpad, you can touch on any point of the trackpad, same kind of trackpad you would have on your MacBooks, just slightly smaller. And you have a plethora of gestures that come with the trackpad as well, same as you would get on a MacBook. Your 3-finger swipe up to clear and go to your home screen, your 3-finger swipe up halfway to bring up all your apps, your 3-finger swipe to the right to scroll through your apps, and then if you are within an app, you can, scroll up and down. So I like to do that in a browser, or pinch and zoom, and you get that benefit because it is basically the same as you would get on a Mac. The only caveat at keyboard is you don't get a function row, because they have this floating design, which I do love. I wouldn't mind a function row underneath, to be totally honest with you. For that price point and a pro device, I think you need a function row, and I can't live without that. Within saying that, some people might not, be as worrisome about that, but leave in the comments, tell me what you think. Like, would you have liked a function row, right? I know why they did it, because the hinge design sort of blocks it. I don't even mind if it was underneath. I think I know where my function keys are, and I could get right underneath, right? And just the trackpad, it's smaller, right? For myself, on an iPad, I didn't yearn for a lot more space, but I think it would be nicer. There is devices like the Bridge 12.9 Pro Max or what you have that has a huge trackpad on it, right? Curious if that kind of design could have, been integrated, or, there was something they could have done a little bit differently. Those are small things, but your mileage might vary, and it's something you have to ask yourself. Is a function row key important for you? Is a huge trackpad important for you? I wanted to hit on one other thing. I had no issues with weight. So this is actually, with the case, it weighs more than a MacBook Pro. And I understand why they did that. It's the hinge design, right? There has to be a counterweight. It has to be able to carry the iPad. The keyboard has to have enough weight. And I want to let you guys know that this is a lappable, is that a word? A lappable, where you can put the iPad on your lap and type. I know for some people that's important to be able to type on the go, right? And that counterweight allows it to have this perfect unison. So does it weigh maybe just as much as a MacBook Pro or slightly more? I didn't notice the difference. In my hands, it feels sturdy, it feels solid. That's what I want. That's what I want from my device, is for it to feel solid, for it to feel sturdy. I know that I'm getting a quality product. So that wasn't something I had an issue with. I know some people did. I think that the common issues were the hinge. It went far enough back for myself to use. No issues there. Another issue was weight. Again, it felt sturdy. Not an issue for myself at all. But again, your mileage may vary. And then the function row, that was difficult for me, right? The small trackpad I could deal with on an iPad. I really didn't have a huge issue with that. Some people might, right? Those were the biggest caveats, right? Then it leads me to the last caveat, the biggest issue I had with this device. And that's the cost. In Canada, taxes in, this cost me a little bit over $500. I think it was like $507, $510. And I just can't justify that for a keyboard and mouse. Now, there's another reason I can't justify it, and that's because I have a home setup and I have the MX Keys Mini and the MX Master mouse, and I sort of dock my iPad. So when I'm not using it as an iPad and I need typing and everything like that, I have the ability to dock it and use those devices. And those are expensive peripherals that I have. It's about $300 between the two that I've spent. So adding this, it didn't make much sense to me. And what I ended up doing, and I want to share with you guys what I did and what made sense for me. I went and got a $6.99. It was on sale for $6.99. I see them all the way up to about $20. A magnetic case off Amazon. I think this one was from Mogo or Moga, and it was a magnetic case. The magnets are not as strong as Apple's. The leather and everything was not as strong as Apple's either, but it did the job for when I needed this to be a pro device outside of the tablet space. When I want to dock it and type with a keyboard or use a mouse, I just put it on my desk here. I will use it in that sense, and I'm totally comfortable with that, right? Is it worth it? Yeah, the device is worth it. Don't get me wrong. If I didn't have this desk setup, and that was my main driver, my main laptop going around, and I didn't have a $300 keyboard and mouse at home that I use, I would justify spending the $500 Canadian, whatever, 400 US that you would spend on this device. And I'd be happy with it. And I don't think there's going to be any other device or accessory that will work so well with your iPad. This, I believe, is a must-have if you don't have a setup like mine. But again, it didn't make sense for my use, because for what I was going to use it for, a $6.99 case worked for me. And on top of that, I was able to use that $6.99 case a little bit more in a tablet, like drawing mode, where that's actually how I edit my video. I have seen the hack where you flip your Magickeyboard over and it goes into drawing mode. It just looks awkward. What are you gonna use it for? If you're traveling and you don't have a laptop and this is your main device, absolutely. This is an accessory that you should get. The top two accessories, Magickeyboard, Applepencil. Now, if you're not going to use it a lot, I don't like burning a hole in my pocket, and $500 is a lot. Apple's event on June 6th is coming out, and I think there's a new Mac Mini. I'd love to get a Mac Mini just in my home setup, right? Or let's see what the new MacBook Air looks like. And as of right now, this is about 50% of the price of a Mac. Actually, more, yeah. It would be about almost 60% of what a Mac Mini would cost. I saved myself a little bit of money because I had the mouse and keyboard, and I got a $6.99 case. It works for me. Might not for you. I don't want you to steer away from this product because I'm saying I'm returning it. I'm returning it because the value proposition of what I use it for is just not there. I will leave you with this. Everybody's in a different situation in life. $500 might not matter. For myself, $500 can go towards something else. If you need a laptop replacement in an iPad, you cannot beat the Magickeyboard. I know there's good options like the Logitech Combo Touch, the Bridge, but everyone comes with a compromise. I believe this is the best keyboard mouse combo you can get. But if you're in a situation like myself where you might use it offhand and 500 bucks matters, you have to decide, you know? Especially with inflation, everything costs a little bit more, right? And if you enjoyed this video, you know, a like, a subscribe would be greatly appreciated. Thank you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. So I'm Ben, and take care.